It's Friday. You know what that means? It is time for episode 3 of Personally Injured, baby. Cheers.
Cheers, my dude.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
the only
it's been a
smiling
long-ass
face I've
week.
seen all week. Everybody's been on me.
It's nature of the beast, man. I always got people up my ass, man. That's just the way it is. I can't get away from it. God, come to the office, and I'm getting hassled. I go home, I'm getting hassled. You know? It's just the way it is.
Speaking of not being able to get away, did you see they tried to get the felony indictment against the sandwich thrower, and it came back misdemeanor, and he did not get away. I mean, I was impressed.
What's he doing, man? That's like Crim Law 101, man.
Bro,
Not only it's a battery, you know what I mean? Just don't throw sandwiches, dude. Just don't throw it.
more importantly, why are you wasting money on a perfectly good sandwich? Like, you weren't hungry? Assuming you got away. Now you worked up an appetite because you ran away and you're not even going to have no food. Just wasted your Sammy.
Lit, dude. That guy must have been hammered.
So-
To go buy a sandwich and then to throw the sandwich, I mean, all reason and logic is gone.
Well, first of all, them shorts he had on, them britches was a little tight. I don't know who he thought he was going to be able to run away from in those, because they were
Dude,
snug.
that's the new style, man. If we were in our 30s and we were still running from the cops, you better believe we'd probably have some tight shorts on.
Nope, not me. I need the space.
I can imagine. You were probably like Jalen Rose back in the day in Michigan. Even though I know you're an Ohio State guy, you were probably just wearing those Fab Five baggy shorts.
I can't pull that look off. I mean, I have amazing ankles. Like, that's one of my top features, but I still can't pull off the Jalen Rose shorts. I mean, they're classic, but I can't pull that look off. So I saw this guy, and then I didn't know when I first saw the video that he is in fact an attorney for, I believe, the IRS, and got let go, of course, after this. And then I saw the other video of the gal who was up in Connecticut?
I think it was New Hampshire, man.
New Hampshire, somewhere up in New England, assistant attorney general getting into it with a cop. Again, law enforcement being challenged by attorneys. And look, I get it. It is our job to challenge things in the legal arena, but not on the streets.
You have to turn it off, and that's your protocol.
She's a lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
No, it is. That's law.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go. We're going. Let's go.
Excuse.
We're leaving.
And I'm sitting there saying, what is happening with the attorney flex? With the whole mindset of, I'm going to flex on these people, whoever it is, law enforcement in both these instances, and say, I'm an attorney, I know best, I'm going to do what I want, and expect that that's going to work out.
Never gonna work, man. Never gonna work. Listen, anytime you talk to cops, there's 3 options. You either shut the fuck up, you say, yes, sir, no, sir. That's it. Or yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. One or the other, bro. You don't say anything else. And you gotta be courteous. You fuck up, you say I'm sorry right away. And I promise you, their demeanor will change. It will change. But I don't understand what these people are doing. I kind of feel, the 2 girls, especially the AJ, the attorney general over there from New Hampshire. I mean, talk about double chips on her shoulders, all right? 1, she's an attorney, and 2, she's good looking. When you're a good looking girl attorney, you think you can get away with anything. I mean, anything. Even being an asshole to a cop, and she was a total asshole.
Well, let's be real. She's talking about being an AG like she's up in the courtroom. I mean, they just do appeals. That's the most, civilized of civilized situations that you're dealing with in a courtroom. Like, it is very prim and proper. You are not dealing with the usual trial attorney craziness, but she's there flexing, I'm an AG, and then her buddy's over there making it worse. She's a fucking attorney, all up in their face. I think I learned pretty early on in this career that no one really cares that you're a lawyer until
Nope.
until they need a lawyer. So the irony of it is like cops looking at these guys like, I don't care that you're a lawyer. Still gonna arrest you. I'll still put you in cuffs. Don't matter to me. Throw a sandwich at me. Find out what happens. You know, keep trying to get away. Keep yelling at me and giving me a hard time when all you had to do was just leave the premises of this restaurant, lady. And I'm still gonna arrest like that. You're ending up in cuffs, and no one cares. You can play that flex all you want until that situation goes sideways. It's like, you know, what was it, Dave Chappelle, when keeping it real goes wrong? This was like when flexing as a lawyer goes wrong.
100%.
So, I mean, I've seen it before. I'm sure you got some stories where people did this crazy stuff. You know, I've seen where people have overstepped and used their credentials as an attorney and went way too far, and it didn't go well.
Listen, rule number 1 is just never say you're an attorney, ever. And you're absolutely right, man. Nobody cares that you're an attorney until you need one. It's kind of like when you talk to your buddies and you talk to your buddy and he comes back and he's like, yeah, I played golf today. I played like crap. I shot this. Nobody cares what you shot. Nobody cares how you did playing golf. Same thing. Nobody cares that you're an attorney. Doesn't matter. But let me tell you, talking about like one of these like attorney things with cops, you know your boy's got a good story with that one, man.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Well, listen, I don't know if you want to hear it because it's going to bring back some bad memories for you, good memories for me. In fact, this is probably my last weekend of complete and total peace while you're living high on the hog on things like this, because this thing happened when I was an attorney back with you at the state attorney's office.
Oh,
And this situation, it was one of the best days of my life, all right? But it was kind of one of those situations where I had to deal with a cop and kind of just like not say that I was an attorney, where things could have gone a little bit sideways. But it happened on January 8th, 2007. Do you know what that day was here?
I know.
What day was that, buddy?
I guess that was the national championship, Florida Gators, Ohio State, the
That's
SmackDown.
Oh, man.
Gotta go bring
Glendale Stadium, University of Phoenix Stadium, whatever the hell it's called now, State Farm Stadium. 3/4 red, silver, garnet and silver. A quarter of it orange and blue. All I hear in that stadium is OHIO.
Yep.
And these velociraptors on the Gators defense just terrorized your boy Troy Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner. He was shook and cooked. It was one of the best days of my life, man. Earl Everett running without his helmet on, tackling Troy Smith. I mean,
I recall.
Tebow, Chris Smith, Percy Arvin, Chris Leak, Percy Arvin. It's just one of the amazing days, man.
So-
I was running, and you know that I was running around because nobody thought the Gators were going to win. Everyone thought Ohio State was going to blow them out, especially before Teddy Ginn and his whole family got drafted by the Dolphins, and he took the kickoff all the way home for a touchdown. Everyone thought Gators were cooked, and we came back and we crushed you guys. I was running around at halftime to all Ohio State fans saying, that just happened. And then I think I saw you afterwards when I got home. But the best part, talking about like where it got a little bit crazy and a little bit off the rails, is because we were so excited after we won that game. We stayed partying in the parking lot. We had parked at the stadium, got one of the good passes, whatever it was. We're there, we're jumping around. I think I had my buddy Drew and Spence. They were just jumping on top of this rented Suburban that we rented. And we were probably there for an hour to 2 hours after the game. Eventually, at one point, the cops are just like, you guys got to get out of here. We're tired. We need to clear this place out. And you know where your boy was sitting at that time. I was sitting straight in the driver's seat of that Suburban, just cranking out the beats while we were going. Cop comes up to me and he's like, dude, you're hammering. And I go, yep. He goes, you know I could arrest you for sitting right there in the car. And I'm like, yeah, but that'd be a bullshit charge. That's all I said to him. He laughed. And I was like, I get it. I'm going to try to rally these guys and get out of here. And trust me, I'm not driving. You see Drew up there? He may look like he's drunk, but he doesn't drink, so we're good to go. So I got everybody there and got out of there. But it doesn't stop to the point where sometimes you have to just talk to them like a human being and let them know, even though I might have been in actual physical control of that vehicle, it was not something that the cop really wanted to deal with anyways.
So, did you bust out the badge on him? Because remember we had those badges? Did you drop it on him, or he just backed up when you were like, that's a bullshit charge?
No, I didn't drop any badge on him. I didn't even take my badge, bro. I knew better. All right?
Did you ever use the badge?
Not once, bro. Not once. Listen, I would be too tempted of having that thing in my back pocket, man.
I had somebody use my badge one time, also a state attorney, but they didn't have theirs on them. So we are downtown in Fort Lauderdale, bunch of 20-something lawyers trying to blow off a little steam, and we're trying to get into America's Backyard.
I remember that place.
I don't know if it's still there, but we're trying to get in, and apparently Lil Wayne is there throwing, I guess, like his own birthday party, whatever the case may be, and the guy at the door tells us, like, yo, Lil Wayne's having a birthday party. The only way you're getting in here is with a police escort. All right?
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're going down the street. And I'll leave out names, but a stage ranger says, hey, you have your badge? I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he goes, well, give it to me. He goes up to these two cops that are standing over there doing whatever they're doing to keep making sure things stay orderly. Talk. All of a sudden, the two cops come up, say, come on, guys, walk in. The bouncer tries to get in the cop's way. The cop just shoves the bouncer out of the way, walks us in. He's like, you guys want to pay the cover? And I was like, not really. He's like, come on in. So here we are, America's Backyard, Lil Wayne's party, because somebody utilized a badge to get in there. I said, what did you say to the cops? Guys, this is to me. I told him we were all state attorneys. We were trying to go in there and have a drink, and we couldn't get in. And he says, are any of you public defenders? I says, nope. And he goes, all right, follow me. Boom. So, yeah, that was as close as I ever came to utilize the badge for any reason. Otherwise, it just sat there in my wallet all day long doing nothing.
That was impressive because that was the height of Wheezy's powers, too.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Carter 3, man.
I never saw him. I was in there looking everywhere. But I didn't ever tell you about my Wheezy story where we were talking about assault. I was assaulted by Wheezy F Baby. Not even playing. So we are at the Masters tournament 2017. Go there with my
You've been to the Masters?
My dad and my brother wanted to go. We had to combine our shekels, share a hotel room. I think it was like one bed. I slept on the floor. Brutal. So we go to this. Tournament's over. We're leaving. And there's like, just the way this is set up, it results in this like human traffic jam. And everybody's just kind of waiting, making your way through this little area that kind of funnels down. All of a sudden, somebody just shoves me in the back. Like, I'm just minding my own business. I just get blasted. And I fall, like, almost forward onto my knees. And I'm looking up trying to figure out, like, did I just get hit by a car? Like, what was that? And this little guy with a hood on was flying through, and he just keeps shoving other people. And he's got two very large individuals with him. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. And the guy that's next to me, well, I don't know, looks at me. He's like, that was Lil Wayne that just knocked you down. And he's looking at me like, I'm going to go looking for the authorities. I'm trying to get an autograph. Like, Weezy, come back. And he just kept trucking through like he wasn't waiting for nobody. I was like, Weezy, come on.
Oh, man.
Trying to get the fireman's autograph. And I couldn't get nothing, man.
He didn't want no business with you, man.
He
You were a
did not.
tiger.
You
were a tiger.
So, yeah, I mean, you could see those instances where we've had in our lives where it gets real close. You know, and people start flexing on the attorney thing. I usually try to keep it to myself. I don't want anybody to know that I'm a lawyer when I'm out there.
Nowadays.
People don't like us. They don't like us.
Especially us, man. We got the worst rap. Even though we got one of the most noble professions in what we do, our part of the law, helping people that have been truly, truly injured and their lives have fallen apart, we got some of the worst. We got some of the worst raps out of any other attorneys. And you know what?
Ambulance chasers, whatever they want to call us. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it's a lot of the advertising, man. People have seen it, and they did. It really, really does.
As I tell everybody, I ain't chasing no ambulance. I got two knees that can't be doing that. Like, I'm not, But as you said, people do not necessarily like attorneys so much until they need an attorney. And then Then they want you to flex. Then everybody wants that pit bull, that badass that's going to come in and just bust everybody in the mouth. They want the most badass pit bull attorney on planet Earth. And they're asking you questions about laws. Like, well, I got a landlord-tenant issue. I'm like, dude, you hired me for your car accident. I don't know anything about landlord-tenant. Like, oh, I got a wills and trust. I got this inheritance problem going. I'm like, I don't know about that. And then they look at you like, what's wrong with you? How do you not know about it? You should know. You passed the bar exam. I'm like, yeah, 20 years ago. I don't remember any of that crap. I took a semester class on that so I could pass the bar. I haven't practiced that.
Yeah. Well, look, they're always gonna look at you that way. But then you just start talking to them. Start breaking them down like you do in court, Ian. And be like, oh, I'm sorry. What's your name? Oh, Harry. Harry, what do you do for a living? Oh, you're a mechanic. What type of mechanic are you? You work on cars. Any car in particular or all sorts of cars? Well, yeah, I generally work on BMWs and Audis. Okay. So if I brought in a Ferrari over here, you think I'd be better served talking to you or to somebody else that does, specialize in Ferraris? Or even better, you know what? My boat engine just broke. Can you come over to my house and help me fix my outboard Yamaha? Oh, yeah, now they get it. It's apples and oranges. I mean, it's both being a mechanic, but different specialties. And people don't understand that.
It's like, if you had a heart problem, you wouldn't ask a foot surgeon to operate on it, would you?
Nope.
But they still look at you like you should know all facets of the law. My sister, she's a veterinarian. She knows about every animal on the planet. And when she's like, well, what about this legal issue? I'm like, I don't know that. And she looks at me like, you're an idiot. How could you not know that? I know about 700 different animals and all their problems. And I'm like, you're right. You are a lot smarter than me. You're not lying. I'll make that concession any day of the week. In addition to them expecting you to know everything, then you've got them expecting you to have the ultimate flex, which is all the goodies. The watches, the clothes, the cars, the house. And they're like, what kind of lawyer are you? You don't have all that stuff. So it's like, at one point, nobody wants to hear about you being a lawyer, but then they expect you to have all these things. So you're just damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Not only do they expect you to have it, they want you to have it. The best part is, I've had clients come into my office, and I got to tell you, my office is 2 stories, right? Second floor, our office, right? Really nice office. Third floor are my process servers and my court reporters. And when I say mine, they have their own business, but that's who I use. They're my buddies. Guess what cars they have? They have all these rare Porsches that sit right outside. They're crushing it, dude. They're crushing it. But they have like these rare GT3 turbos, whatever. Each of them have one. They bought one that they share together with some fancy paint, and they're always parked outside. Clients come in here, they're signing their closing settlement statement, and they're like, hey, which one of those Porsches is yours?
All of them.
The blue one.
I'm that dude that if you're at anywhere that's near a marina that has any kind of a large size boat, I'm like, man, I told him quit parking my boat out here. I told him quit parking my Ferrari out up front here. The valet guys are killing me with this. Meanwhile, going over my kid mobile SUV because can't have kids be rocking that kind of pasta rocket. It's not working.
No, man, it doesn't work. Look, we have to keep up the appearance. I mean, I have a nice car. You have a very nice car, too. It's one of these situations, though. If you're not a car guy and you got kids and you're sending your kids to private school and your private school tuition costs more than a car.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't going to spend your money on these other things.
But the stress that stuff puts on us. And I'll never forget, man. You said you got me with the Florida Gators whooping up on Ohio State, which are they the reigning champion? They are the reigning champions.
Hold on. I need you to leave me alone.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to explain why I need you to leave me alone, because this might be the last weekend I got. All right. Of just complete, total peace. Okay. And let me explain that for you.
I know.
The Gators, thank God, they play nobody this weekend. Should be an easy tune-up win. That's cool. Next weekend, guess what? The Dolphins are in play.
Yep.
And the Gators. Chances are one of them are going to blow it. and they're gonna ruin my weekend.
Ohio State's got Texas this weekend, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Ian.
Yeah.
Eat shit. Fuck off. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. Next time I hear anything from you, I'm sorry. What team do you root for in the NFL?
Look, man, you know my story.
Hold on. Just tell me who.
You know I'm a proud Philadelphia Eagles fan.
So
And this
you
is by
got
no means a bandwagon because
I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm not
You know I
calling you
rooted for
bandwagon.
these teams
I'm
my
saying
whole
you got a
life.
good life. Nothing to worry
Right
about.
now, Micah Parsons is now in Green Bay. That's a real problem right there. But having said that, I digress. I brought it up because you came at me. And as I'm sitting here thinking about the flex time, I will never forget we had left. We were both in civil practice at that point, and I happened to see you in the courtroom. It was like calendar call or something. You sat down and said, "Oh, man, what's up, man? I haven't seen you ever." Wasn't even planned. Didn't even know you were going to be there. And I'm sitting there, and I got on these new shoes, dude. Some new Ferragamo shoes. And I'm thinking, I mean, I had saved and saved for those bad boys. Like, before that, it was like Kenneth Cole at best. So here I am in my Ferragamo shoes, matching belt, feeling strong. Nobody's
Better
going to
be
give me
matching that
heart.
belt. Better be matching that
No,
belt.
we
Don't,
talked
don't
about
make me
that.
go. Don't
I
make me go
know,
Jerry Bear
I
on
know,
you.
but you know, I'm feeling like nobody's gonna give me a hard time. You know, finally starting to match the part of the lawyer. They call my case, and I'm like, get my stuff, and you're like, you see the sole of my shoe, and you literally like point out, you're like, oh man, I like those, and I was like, oh thanks, man, and you're like, look over me, you're like, now you just gotta get you one of these, and bust out the Rolex on me, and I'm like, oh, come on, dog, come on, right before I gotta go up for my hearing, and I just took my confidence, just gutted me, and I was like, oh man, get back to the office, but I was like, how'd your hearing go? I was like, oh, Moncy was in there messing with my head. He's living in there rent free, flexing with his Rolex, making me feel like he's just big bro with me. He's just big bro with me, and I had nothing, man.
But you were on the defense side. I had to get in your head, bro.
I know, but we didn't have the case against each other. You could have done me a solid, just left me with the shoe compliment. I feel like you weren't even complimenting the shoes. You were just setting me up and be like, oh, I'm about to bust out the new arm jewelry on him, make him feel it. I was like, oh man.
I can't remember the last time I bought a watch, man. All my watch money goes to the Sacred Heart right now.
You know it.
What I mean?
But having said that, the pressures that come with this stuff and the appearances and the persona that we're expected to put out there can be daunting. And it results in a lot of craziness that we see for some colleagues out there. I mean, I remember the first guy, and I don't want to say the name, but RIP for him. I saw him speak at an event, at a CLE event, and he had just been on the cover of Super Lawyers, and he was larger than life. And I watched him talk, and I thought, man, that is who I want to be like. That is who I want to model my career after. And lo and behold, the guy committed suicide years later. And I just sat there remembering, like, this guy seemed like he didn't have a care in the world. He was killing the game. He was doing things that I don't know that I could ever do if I spent my whole career doing it. And clearly there was obviously some depression issues there, whatever the case may be. But it was, you know, a real reality check of, again, the pressures that come with this. And then I got some other stories, but we can talk about where, you know, like, the craziness that we deal with. But I mean, I'm sure you know, and you've dealt with it too. That's part of the package of not only the pressures of your clients, but the expectations of them, but then the expectations of society and family and everything else that comes with the law degree that's supposed to solve all those problems, right?
I feel you, man. And look, a lot of times I envy you in the sense that your wife's also an attorney, you know, and she's in our profession on the opposite side. So she understands what you're going through.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't. My wife has no clue the battles that I deal with on a day in, day out basis. I feel like being a lawyer, it's like we're fighting 4 different fights at once on each file. Each file.
Yeah.
And it could beat you down. And you got to keep your mind right. You got to keep plugging along. You got to ignore a lot of the outside noise and keep moving forward, because if not, it will beat you down. It will beat you down. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie that I haven't. I've had anxiety that I'd never had before in my life.
Yep.
I'm learning how to deal with it and cope with it in the best possible way. But these are things that have happened because of this profession, not because of anything else going on in my life. but just because of being an attorney. And not only that, I hate to say it, it's because of the way things have become now in the Supreme Court mandates that have brought down upon us, where it's made it that much more difficult for us to do our job properly.
Yeah.
So it's hard, man. It's hard, but you got to just keep grinding.
It's funny you bring up the wife understanding of Bono, because I always say, people was like, how is that? You know, having a wife who's also an attorney. People just assume that we're at home having like full on A Few Good Men courtroom moments in the house, like anytime, like who didn't take out the trash? It's like, I'll call to the stand my next witness, Your Honor. And then we're just full on cross-examining each other. In actuality, it's the furthest thing from it. But what cracks me up is she definitely understands what I'm going through, but she is so much smarter than me. So what ends up happening is she'll call me like, hey, how much more time you got at the office? I'm like, I'm trying to finish this motion up, so maybe like, an hour. And she's like, what's wrong with you? It's taking you like another 5 minutes. Hurry up. Get out. I would have been done with that a week ago. And I'm like,
I know,
can't live
man.
up to that because she is just that sharp. So yeah, that's the tough part. And like, people's expectations of what goes on at home. Like I tell them I win one argument a year by design because I'm trying to have a happy wife, happy life. You know what I mean? So I'll just tank them. Like I'm just losing those arguments because I want her to be happy. It's not worth it. But then, there's that time where I'm like, all right, I'm going to stand up for myself. And it's always on like the dumbest thing ever. And I walk away like, I'm going to be in a doghouse over this. And I go full lawyer mode. I'm like, is it not correct that on such and such day you said, and I quote, and then she looks at me with that face and it's like, cross-examining me now? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll just get the pillow. I'll just get the pillow and go to the couch. That's
Listen,
where it ends up.
I get it, man. Look, I too have a wife that is way smarter than me. She's a valedictorian of her high school, the school that my daughter now goes to, and probably wouldn't have gotten into but for my wife being the valedictorian. She went to Duke, She's
I couldn't
brilliant.
even spell Duke. Couldn't even spell Duke.
You lie, man. Look, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to give Ian a lot of credit. He's one of the smartest attorneys I know, man. He's one of the people that I lean on when I need a round table something or I need some advice. And you always got the answer. And I don't know if you have the answer because Mel gave you the answer earlier and you actually remembered it, which is probably a good thing, But again, I get what you're saying. When I think about talking to my wife, it's the same thing as talking to the cops. 3 things. You either shut the fuck up, yes ma'am, no ma'am, that's it. Those are the answers. And then you got to stand up for yourself when you feel that they're being unfair with you. You know what I mean? So it has to be something really important. So don't pick a fight with her when she got your Chipotle order wrong. All right, buddy?
Fair or unfair, man, I'm just taking those L's. Because at the end of the day, the W ain't worth it. It doesn't stand for worth. It doesn't stand for win. It doesn't stand for worth it either. You know what I mean?
Could have taken L's at the house.
Well, man, try not to take any of those L's this weekend.
Dolphins
Always
are
a
playing.
pleasure.
No L's. No L's.
Have
Cheers,
a great
brother.
weekend, brother.
You
Be
too,
good.
man. Take care.